Truthfully Speaking Grace is a global podcast dedicated to connecting, celebrating, and inspiring listeners with empowering conversations. Join host Agatha Corbin as she gracefully builds with real people, sharing real stories, and unlocking real enlightening truth. Welcome. This is Truthfully Speaking Grace podcast with your amazing host, Agatha Corbin, giving you real conversation with powerful topics and connecting with real inspirational people from all over the world. So sit back, relax, and let's get this podcast started.
You also talked about the village, your village experience. Can you share with us some of the mentors that your sons had with such a rich variety of people that
they
you're meeting?
Both had mentors who ran community centers.
Wow.
Dr. Walker. They've had coaches. Oh my God, they both played baseball, football, basketball. I remember, I can say this one year. And this is why I didn't have a car, okay? So you single people that say, well, I can't because I don't know. Yeah, you can because I didn't have a car. And I still kept my babies in activities, positive activities. Mm-hmm. I remember one year, one was playing baseball for his school, and the youngest was playing baseball for a league, and I had to get baby daddy number one to run me to the game across town, and then meet baby daddy number two at the park on the other side of town in one day.
Wow.
But we made it happen.
Well.
Well.
And there's a
we
will, there's
made
a way.
It happen. So, yeah. So their fathers being their first mentors.
Right.
They're coaches for all of those leagues they played. Mm-hmm. I've had some of my banking partners become their coach, their mentors. Oh my God, business owners. It's a long list, but a lot of strong Black men in our community just loved on my sons and me. Gave us knowledge, gave us support, gave us discipline to say no. The principals at the schools, school teachers, the list goes on. And they still to this day, my kids are called the community kids. Really, you laugh, but really, that's
awesome.
That's the title.
That's awesome.
You know, those are the community boys because they all own them. To them, they're all the parents. You know, and I did give them that right. If they saw any of my young men out of order, and they have, it was just a phone call away. It's not even a phone call. Let me tell you what I had to do to your son. Let me explain why your son, And so, yeah. So from judges to community advocates to Wall Street moguls to coaches, the list goes on, and they're still a part of their lives.
Wow. Turning one of your questions back to you, what kind of relationship did you have with your sons, and then how has it evolved over time?
I had a very close relationship with both my sons. They're both phenomenally different. They both have the best and maybe the worst side of me in them, and I get to, see it, play out in front of me. Desmond definitely has my, as you can tell, aggressive and very outgoing nature on that, speaks his mind.
Right.
So we would clash, but we were actually very close, and he's close to this day where he can always feel comfortable to tell me anything. Sometimes they tell you too much, and you just be like, did I really want to know that? So we're very close. I mean, even with him, he traveling all around the world and moving across the country, I still talk to my son at least once a week or more. and still he asked for advice. My Lamont he reminds me of my father. He's the Ralph Corbin, strong, silent type, but it doesn't mean that he ain't hearing you. Doesn't mean he ain't paying attention and listening to you. So I love his energy of discernment. So he got my discernment, because even though I'm vivacious, that doesn't mean I don't see you and I'm not really hearing you. Mm-hmm. So I see that strong ability in Lamont, and his nature is more laid back, So they balance each other and they balance me. We're balancing. We're balancers.
Right.
And when we was all three in the home, we've all vibed, because we were all different, and so we complement one another. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any advice to any of the mothers or fathers out there raising kids as a single parent?
First of all, if you don't have to do it, don't do it. It's not like, I set out in life, and I know some people that do, but don't do it if you don't have to. But if you are in that circumstance that you do, while they're in the womb, if for the mom, still love on them, still speak from the womb to they're out, because they do take on everything you do, everything, mm-hmm. physically, mentally, emotionally. Mm-hmm. If you can, if it's safe, let me say that, if it's safe, have that relationship with the other parent. Because I know times have changed where we have a lot of parents either been or about to be incarcerated or doing some illegal activities, or there's domestic violence. I do not condone any of that. If any of that is at the table, then no. But if you were friends enough to get the child, you should be friends enough to help raise it. You have got to you can't be selfish anymore. Mm-hmm. I remember my mother, Angelina Corbin, saying to me, when a baby is born, they become the boss. The kids are the boss, because your life for a while will center around their needs, not just monetarily, but emotionally, everything. So it's not about you anymore, boo-boo. It's about that hollering baby. And develop a strong relationship with the other family members on the other side. If it's a father if you're a single father, still have some type of relationship with the mother's family, vice versa, because that extended family is huge. Even though they were in a household with a single mom, that, as you could hear, they still lived like a family because they had a close relationship with the grandparents and the aunties and the cousins. So they didn't feel like they were alone, like a lot of kids from single parents may feel. And also listen to your kids. Really listen, pay attention of what they're not saying. And when you make a mistake, own up to it to them. Because at the end, they'll respect you. They may not like it then, but they'll respect you. So, and the biggest things you can tell, we have such a big sense of humor in our families. Have fun with your kids. Me and my kids, we're the biggest geeks. We love the Marvel comic movies. We love adventures. We go to movies. I've traveled with my children. As you can tell, I have adventures with my boys. So we love going to the park. Have fun with them, because as you can tell, they grow up fast. I have a 26-year-old and as he says, 21 almost year old. And I don't regret any of it, because I got to have so much fun with them before they left the nest.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for another amazing interview.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to Truthfully Speaking Grace Podcast. Stay tuned for another episode with more real conversations, celebrating real and inspiring people from all around the world.